now at 6:30, new coronavirus guidelines go into effect today for Utah schools. And now teachers are voicing their concerns as students go back to class after a long winter break.
I'm Tamara Vaifanua, live in Murray, where Utah health leaders are bracing for a post-holiday COVID surge. A closer look at the numbers straight ahead.
Plus, Utah's new governor takes office today. How Inauguration Day will be different than any other in Utah history.
Now at 6, the House of Representatives is expected to impeach President Trump for a second time.
The president must be removed from office immediately.
But with only a week left in office, the president says he's not worried.
The 25th Amendment is of zero risk to me, but will come back to haunt Joe Biden and the Biden administration.
And Utah's leaders have a lot to say ahead of today's hearings.
Let's get this thing done and taken care of, and let's turn the corner, and let's put our country back together.
Hear the stance local representatives are taking this morning.
Plus, many students are finding it harder to fill out college applications right now. The changes many schools are making due to canceled extracurricular activities or missed standardized tests.
Now at 7, we're gearing up for a winter storm that's expected to bring some heavy snow across parts of Utah. In anticipation of that, winter weather advisories will be in effect over much of the northern part of the state. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll let you know when and where that snow is most likely.
And the East Coast getting a lot worse right now. Here's a live look at New York, where more snow is expected today. They've already got a lot.
Plus, more positive news on the coronavirus front as another vaccine approval is on the horizon.
We're just having a good time. Little dinner, a little music, a little mystery. Where you can find it. It is here at Gardner Village, just not sure. Does it have to do with magic? Does it have to do with mystery? Are we going to get out alive? We'll find out together. Happy Little Friday.
Still ahead, a traditional holiday light display has brought the joy of the season to Utahns for years. We're going to take you through the history of Magna's Miracle Cove.
The link can release malware into your phone or your computer.
Plus, the dangers within your inbox, how thousands of people are getting scammed through fake shipping emails.
Thanks, Danny. Still ahead on Good Day Utah, police are suspicious after a series of fires were started in Sandy last night. The evidence they have and how it could help them catch the person they say is responsible.
Plus, it's no surprise that buying online has become more popular in the last year, and now new data is showing record spending in just over the last couple of months. Well, the deadline to enroll for Obamacare is today, next at 8. What Utahns need to know to get coverage.
And the first shipment of the COVID-19 vaccine now in Utah and about to be administered to frontline workers later today. More on that coming up.
Breaking overnight, another big step in fighting the coronavirus worldwide.
The first person has officially gotten the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Oxford and AstraZeneca. This one is easier to transport and store, and it is significantly cheaper than the others.
The vaccine went to a retired maintenance manager in London who is in a higher risk group because he's on dialysis. More shots will be delivered at a small number of hospitals in Britain in the coming days. President-elect Joe Biden praised the Supreme Court for declining to hear a case seeking to invalidate election results in 4 states. Biden's comments came after the Electoral College formally cast their votes yesterday to officially confirm him as the 46th President of the United States. Members of Congress are expected to certify the votes of the electors on January 6th. President-elect Biden is scheduled to be sworn into office January 20th of 2021.
Well, as for Utah, the Board of Electors went for President Trump and Vice President Pence.
Utah's 6 electoral votes go for Donald J. Trump and Michael Pence.
Yes.
Under Utah law, the prevailing party gets the Electoral College votes. Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes, however, dropped out of being an elector. Fox 13 is told that he was informed he was in close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 while in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. The Attorney General is now quarantining.
Thanks, Danny. New this morning, the Utah monthly jobs report out within the past half hour shows a 4.3% unemployment rate in November.
And joining us now live is Nate McDonald with the Department of Workforce Services to explain what these new numbers mean. Nate, it's all on you. You got to break this down for us. What does this mean? What does it tell us?
Donovan on the wing. Utah in control. 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes left, another three. Wow.
Yeah, the Jazz were on fire last night. That was just one of 24 three-pointers they made against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell leading with a game high of 27 points. Utah were able to lock this one down 117-87. That is 3 wins in a row, taking their record to 7-4. Now, tonight's game in Washington has been postponed because of COVID-19 contact tracing with the Wizards. They don't have the required 8 available players for the game against the Jazz.
I am wanting to be able to invite all you guys to come up and ski with me.
Santa is getting a little pre-work vacation right now, skiing on the greatest snow on earth. Snow Basin Resort posted this video of Old St. Nick letting people know to keep an eye on him on the slopes every day until Christmas Eve. He also wants to remind skiers and snowboarders to wear their masks and social distance when you're out at the resorts, which is easy to do out in the mountains until it's time to hop on the chair.
You know, when the temperature drops into the 20s, I have no problem wearing the mask. It's okay,
Exactly.
right?
Well, a special homecoming for one Utah athlete who took the top spot at the National Finals Rodeo. Utah County Sheriff's Office vehicles and fire trucks held a parade for Genola native Casey Field. Casey won his 5th Bareback World Championship title at the National Rodeo in Arlington, Texas. Brother Stetson and Ryder Wright from Milford also won big at the NFR, taking the saddle bronic and bull riding categories.
Welcome home with a big trophy.
Welcome home.
Yeah,
that's something that we can be really proud of.
I'm sure their chiropractor is glad to see him too. Because it looks.
Keeping them in business.
Yeah, saddle bronc and bull riding, and they were doing it both each night for more than a week.
Guys.
You know, I just can't
even
imagine what
imagine
their bodies feel like.
What you need after that.
Wear and tear.
The news that we can start, even with limited doses, was incredibly welcome.
Now at 6:30, Salt Lake County teachers are getting priority for the COVID-19 vaccine. We are live with the distribution efforts underway.
And this is just the natural turn of events that would happen when a leader riles up his crowd.
The president facing impeachment for the second time. Our experts join us live with what could take place before President-elect Biden takes office.
Plus, Utah's governor orders state and national flags to be at half-staff today in honor of the Capitol officer killed in Wednesday's riot.
Monday morning. Hopefully everybody had a nice restful weekend. Did you guys?
Oh, yeah.
I was so productive this weekend. I locked myself in my apartment and I just cleaned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
checking off the to-do list.
And it was, I didn't even realize, I mean, I knew it, but cleaning is so freeing once you
Oh, yeah.
It was so wonderful.
I need to have that attitude about cleaning.
Well, like I told you this morning, Danny, cleanliness is next to godliness. So you're getting closer all the time.
Yes, I'm getting closer.
You're getting there. And Damon, your space looks pretty clean, at least the parts that we can see.
We're checking it out.
Yeah, what you can see on camera is everything outside of it not looking so great. Yeah, we were talking earlier about messy desks, and that's exactly what I've got in front of me, pretty cluttered. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be looking good for a lot of you when you head out the door, at least early this morning. We've got a nice view of the city lights out across Salt Lake Valley, but it's not feeling that great. Temperatures really went into a free fall overnight, and it's 19 in Salt Lake, 21 in Ogden. In Provo, you're starting out at 15. And with even a little bit of a breeze going, it feels several degrees colder than that. So you really do want to grab the best jacket you have when you head out the door. And obviously the hat and the gloves, you'll definitely need it as you step outside. Temperatures today really won't climb any higher than they did yesterday. We'll only be in the upper 20s at lunchtime, and then we'll peak in the mid 30s in Salt Lake. It'll become partly cloudy, and it's going to be looking pretty hazy because of that inversion that continues. So that's going to be an issue. Otherwise, we stay dry. We've got a green light for washing the car. That'll be the case on Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't have any big storms of note moving through anytime soon. That's what we need to break up the inversion and scour out some of this pollution that's building. And coming up in a little bit, we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast and let you know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Danny, how you doing this morning?
Hey,
keeping warm, I hope.
Good morning to you, Damon. Yeah, bundled up, get that heater on as soon as you get in the car. But sometimes it just takes a while for it to heat up. But yeah, it's a cold start. I'm doing well, and the roads are doing well as well this morning. Actually, the crashes that we've seen this morning, they're not causing any big backups. That crash we saw in Ogden just about 20 minutes ago, that's already cleared up. I'm going to take us to Tooele County. This is our newest crash of the morning. It's along SR 36 heading southbound at SR 73. This isn't causing any backups for you. Let's take a dive into Provo for those of you traveling through Provo out of Utah County. We've had some backups along State Street and University Avenue, but it's normal for us this time of the morning. So nothing that's going to be slowing you down too much. Live look at I-15 southbound at 74th South in Midvale. We've got cars and volume starting to build, but you're moving freely on both sides of the interstate. And also a look at Clearfield, I-15 southbound at 7 South. No issues in this neck of the woods. Dan.
Thanks, Danny. 2 people are dead. 1 person is badly hurt after a crash on eastbound I-80 near Aragonite. Utah Highway Patrol says 2 cars were involved in a head-on collision last night. The crash shut down eastbound traffic on the highway for hours. The names of the victims have not been released to the public. Today's a big day. Teachers across the state will be eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, Scott McCain is live with details on this rollout. Some welcome news for so many teachers. Scott.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Good morning. And, teachers and staff members got a chance to look forward to this all weekend long. The emails started flying on Friday afternoon, letting them all know that the vaccine rollout is going to begin this week. That begins today. Now, according to districts in the Salt Lake County, they say they're going to start with the oldest groups first, then work their way down the list. Now, Jeff Haney, who's a spokesperson for the Canyon School District, says this is really welcome news, and they are excited to get this rolling this week.
This is a unified, collaborative effort by the county health officials and the school districts in Salt Lake County. So no matter where you teach, drive a bus, serve a meal, or clean a school in Salt Lake County, you can count on the same process being followed.
An all-hands-on-deck effort. So far, roughly 100,000 Utahns have already received the COVID-19 vaccine. However, only a limited number of those vaccine doses are making their way into Utah and in the Salt Lake County. So again, they're preaching patience, on behalf of the teachers and staff members. But the process is beginning this week, and it'll eventually all, come around, and everyone will get vaccinated. It just may take a little longer than they initially thought. Right now, we're live in Sandy. Scott McCain, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Scott. Utah's Catholic community mourning the loss of one of their own. Father Rene Rodias of St. James passed away Friday. Father Rodias tested positive for COVID-19 just January 5th, died only 3 days later. Church members are shocked and heartbroken.
Father Rodias walked the talk. He touched a lot of lives. He was more than a priest to us. He was one of us.
The Diocese of Salt Lake City says Father Rodias' exact cause of death is still being determined. The funeral services will be held at the Cathedral of the Madeleine and will be live streamed for the community.
Well, ski resorts are continuing to double down on their stance of protecting people from COVID-19. Solitude Mountain Resort saying in a statement on social media that they will not tolerate guests who are disrespectful or combative towards staff. They go on to say, quote, "Our employees, especially those on the front lines, have been directed to enforce our COVID-19 protocols. They are not in a position to allow for compromise or exceptions, and they are as concerned with the well-being of guests as they are their own." Fox 13 reached out to resort officials, but none were made available to discuss what led to the message. According to state guidelines, face coverings are required at all of Utah's ski areas, including both indoor and outdoor spaces. Social distancing is also required on the grounds of all resorts.
Democrats begin another effort this week to remove President Trump from office. He could become the first president to be impeached twice. But as Fox News correspondent Doug Luzada reports from Washington this morning, there isn't much time to get this done. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. The votes may be there, but the president won't be in office much longer than another week and a half or so, so it's not clear where it would go from there. With National Guard troops keeping an eye on the U.S. Capitol complex over the weekend, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi laid out plans to remove President Trump from office for his role in last week's protest that turned violent as Congress came under attack.
This president is guilty of inciting insurrection. He has to pay a price for that.
House Democrats are expected to start with calling on Vice President Mike Pence and the cabinet to declare President Trump unable to fulfill his duties under the 25th Amendment to the Constitution. That has never been done before, and there's no indication Pence is willing to go that far.
Well, I like the 25th Amendment because it gets rid of him. He's out of office. But there is strong support in the Congress for impeaching the president a second time.
Well, there may be support, but is there time? Impeachment is just the first step, and if it happens, a Senate trial might start more than 3 months later, long after Trump has left office.
I think that would be best.
Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey said Trump should simply resign, and other Republicans question whether impeachment will just foment more anger.
Aren't we in pain enough? Don't we need less brinksmanship and more leadership in our country to move to the peaceful transition of power on January 20th at noon?
And a Senate trial after the president leaves office may raise some constitutional issues as well. Back to you guys.
Doug, what does impeachment actually accomplish after the president is gone? Aside from his legacy, what does this actually do? I know it would prevent him from doing certain things in the future.
Well, impeachment in and of itself would really do nothing if they convict him and then add a multiplier, essentially, add kind of a second sentence to the conviction. They could prevent him from seeking a public office, but that's not impeachment. That's the Senate trial, and it's not clear whether that would even take place.
And what the goals are here. So we've still got a little bit of a road to go before anything actually happens here. Thanks a lot, Doug Luzada, reporting live for us in D.C.
Governor Spencer Cox has ordered the American flag and the Utah state flag to fly at half-staff today in honor of U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who was killed in last week's riot in D.C. The governor released a statement saying in part, quote, Brian D. Sicknick gave his life trying to protect one of the nation's most revered democratic institutions. We honor his life of dedicated public service. The governor added, Abby and I extend our deepest sympathy to the Sicknick family and pray for them and our nation at this difficult time.
President-elect Biden will not be the only one getting some fanfare when he enters the White House this month. His rescue dog, Major, is being honored with his own virtual inauguration. I'm sure you get it. The event is scheduled for January 17th, 3 days before Biden's own inauguration. A $10 minimum donation is required for those who want to join the Zoom event, and all the proceeds will go to the Delaware Humane Association. So it's for a good cause, this inauguration.
Major's the star, so it's good they're doing it a couple days early before the real deal. Hopefully calmer situation, calmer conditions. Hi, Damon.
I have a feeling that one will go a lot smoother than the real thing, yeah. Okay, well, we've got such a cold start to the week, so be prepared before you head out the door getting back to work and school. We've got a temperature of 19 in Salt Lake with a little breeze southeast 9 miles per hour. That makes it feel like it's 8 degrees outside. Part of the problem is that within that layer of cold air, we've got pollution that's building because of the inversion. And as of last report from the Utah Department of Environmental Quality, we're forecasted to have moderate air quality across northern Utah today, but by tomorrow it's going to become unhealthy, at least for people with heart and lung problems, and it could get even worse than that during the middle of the week. So if you can cut back on the driving, that really helps things out. Otherwise, cold starts of the day at the bus stop with the temperature in the mid to upper teens. Along much of the Wasatch Front, it'll be partly cloudy and hazy today, and by the time the kids head home from school, temperatures are only going to be climbing up into the low to mid-30s. It'll feel a lot like it did yesterday. In fact, we'll peak at 35 in Salt Lake. And even though the inversion continues, we'll actually warm up a little bit over the next couple of days. So by Wednesday, it's going to be feeling a lot better. We'll make it up to 45 in Salt Lake by then. A little weather system is going to brush by, and that'll bring a slight chance of some rain and snow showers, but it's not going to be enough to break up the inversion. It might weaken it a little bit, but we need a stronger storm to come through. And coming up, we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast, let you know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Danny, good morning. How's traffic shaping up so far?
Good morning to you, Damon. Happy Monday, everyone. We have a few areas of slowing, so I want to help you get around some of these areas. First, I'd like you to follow me to Roy. I'm not seeing a crash, but I am starting to see some slowing along I-15 as you're passing through Roy, heading southbound. I'm not seeing anything on UDOT cameras. I'll be watching that area for you, but you might just be running into some extra cars over there. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. And also in Salt Lake City, Bangerter Highway heading northbound, right near 1820 South. That left lane is blocked due to a stalled vehicle, and we are starting to see some slowing as you're approaching this area. Live look at Kaysville, I-15 northbound at 9th South. Everybody's moving, no issues in this neck of the woods. And also look at the cars that are building in Draper. This is along I-15 southbound. At Bangerter Highway, things are getting busy, but so far everyone's moving at average freeway speed. Dan?
Thanks, Danny. Still ahead, your 2020 taxes could be a bit more confusing, but you could also qualify for more tax breaks. What you need to know before you file.
Plus, people across the country are reporting missing packages they ordered before the holidays. The surprising source behind the delayed deliveries.